afternoon, South Africa. Lovely to be back. My name is Bonang Matheba. You're watching Afternoon Express right here on SABC3. We've got another hour of all things delicious, all things fabulous coming up your way. And talking about delicious, I've got the beautiful Claire Allen in the kitchen today. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm excited to be cooking with you.
I can't wait. So what are we making today?
We're going to be making a soya glazed hake with a cold noodle salad.
Yum. Sounds delicious. So I've got Claire and I've got Clem. The
two C's.
Clem, how are you?
I'm so good, and you?
I'm very well, thank you. Lovely to see you. What are you making for me today? I'm very hungry.
So if you didn't have enough like burger mania yesterday, we did another one today. But this is kind of like my fusion cuisine.
Yes.
It's not confusion, I promise you. We did like an Asian take an American classic.
It's
a steamed bun burger.
Sounds delicious. Let's get it started.
Sure.
All right,
But
let's get straight
swap
into it. Let's swap sides and let me know what you need me to do today.
So I'm sticking with the burger patties that are on promotion, right? Because there's like a million ways to use them. So what I'm doing first of all is taking the patty, and you can kind of like, this is where your preference comes in.
Yes.
If you want to have a small one, you can divide this in half, or you can just do one big steamed bun.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to divide it in half, real easy.
Oh, okay.
So easy, and just roll it into a little ball. I'd say just slightly bigger than a golf ball then. And so simple. Don't need to add any seasoning to this because it's been seasoned already.
Already, nice.
And it goes into the pan, and that starts cooking. As you can see, I got one that's already over there.
Yeah.
And he's nearly done.
It smells so delicious.
It does.
If you were in the kitchen, I mean, just all the flavors that I'm standing in front of right now is incredible. All right, so how long does that cook for there, Clem?
About, I'd say keep on turning it for just close to, just over 5 minutes, and you should be done. It's going to steam again, so you don't need to cook it all the way through. It'll continue cooking that way. So I'm going to make a really cool, like yesterday we did a smoky slaw.
Yes.
So today we're going to do like a bit of an Asian-y slaw.
All right.
What do you think?
So what's the difference between today's slaw and yesterday's slaw?
I've taken out the mayonnaise and I've added some sriracha to it. We know sriracha's got that like that fermented garlicky chili flavor, so that's in there. And I'm going to add a whole lot of coriander, some spring onions, and some purple cabbage.
So
if you can do that, you
purple
can
cabbage?
Here we go. You can add that to the bowl for me.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm going to use some chives.
How much do you need in here? Is that fine?
That's good.
That's enough?
That's perfect. So the chives go in. That's going to give us that oniony flavor.
And look at those colours.
It's all about the colour.
Fresh,
you eat,
right?
You eat with your eye first.
Exactly.
And some roughly chopped coriander. Don't kill it. So keep it nice and chunky. That goes in. And then the sriracha comes in. So the sriracha's got that, it's got heat, but it's not blow your head off heat. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's
so
good.
it's mild.
It's mild.
Okay.
You know it's there.
Yeah.
So that goes in.
You won't need a glass of milk.
No, that's not going to happen. No.
All right, cool.
And then a little bit of lemon juice just for that acidity. And you're going to mix that through. So I've got one that I've already made. So you can pass that over here.
And this is how it looks.
There we go. That blood red color is crazy.
That is unreal.
So what we've got now is we've got our slaw that's done. We've got our burger patty that's beautifully cooked in a little ball. So what I've done is I've simply gone and I've bought some bread dough. Now, you can either be like really committed to it and you can make your own bread dough. No, but you can buy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you can pass the cup of flour. And
you made this?
No, I didn't. I just bought it.
Of course.
I want you to know how easy it is to make this.
All right.
You can pass my little roller.
The little roller, there you go.
So all you have to do is, like I said, if you are really committed, go out and make your own bread dough. Otherwise, simply go to your bakery and ask your baker for 1 kilogram of dough and start playing around with that.
Yeah.
Also, good tip, if you're not a really good baker, but you want to have that kind of baking experience, start off that way. Get the dough from your baker and start playing around with it. Season your bread.
Yeah.
Go crazy.
All right. Fantastic.
Cool.
All right. And then what happens after that?
So a little bit of the slaw.
A little bit of the slaw.
That goes in.
I mean, that is just, I mean, the colours are to die for. Absolutely.
And it still comes through, like once you slice these open, you see the beautiful colours inside. It's all about the colour. So then your meatball goes in the centre.
Yes.
And if you can pass with some mozzarella cheese, because what's a burger without cheese?
Without cheese, exactly, right?
So I'm using some mozzarella.
Are you ever going to use this right here?
Oh, sorry, that's a good point.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello.
So what I do before I take the meatball out of the pan, I
actually
glaze it in that Korean barbecue sauce. It is so delicious.
It smells delicious.
So why don't you actually add some to the patty over there?
Yeah, you see, I'm good for something.
You know?
Clem, out here for getting ingredients, yo. All right, there we go.
Okay,
is that enough?
That is.
Oh,
I'm just tearing the mozzarella out of here. which is good because you're going to kind of want it to overlap. So like that, that's perfect. And then you're going to start crimping up the sides. So anyway you want to bring it up, totally seal it. There's a million ways to crimp the burger, but to crimp the rolls. But the most important thing is that you pinch it on the top so it seals.
This is so fancy. This is the coolest style burger I've ever seen. Asian steam burgers.
There we
Amazing.
go. So that's all it is. You can pop it in a steaming basket at home.
What if you don't have a steaming basket?
If you don't have one, so easy.
Yes.
Take a big pot, and then you rest the bowl inside of there with a little bit of water.
All right.
So it's going to start creating steam, and that bowl's giving you some lift. So you pop another plate on there, and you can steam your buns on there.
Oh, you know what? I'd probably use this for, like, to steam my food.
Woo, look at that.
Oh, that smells divine.
So what do you think? They're so amazing.
That looks incredible.
So light and fluffy. And that's your steamed burger buns done. So you can totally serve this with some...
And how long do you steam them for? That's another good
They
point.
actually don't steam for long. You can steam this for about 4 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Which is really great. I mean, they'll be in and out the kitchen in no time. So I like to scatter over some extra coriander, some extra chive. And just because we're loving it so much...
Yes.
Some extra sriracha.
That
and you are so good to go.
Incredible. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic. If you want the ingredients and, of course, the link to the recipe, all you need to do is SMS the keyword STEAM to 33650. Clip. Absolutely amazing. And do remember, R1.50 per SMS. No free SMSs are allowed, all right? Well, that looks absolutely fantastic. I'm going to dig in. While you do that, in case you missed anything here, here's a quick recap. All these beautiful pieces of jewellery that you see on the table right now are by this gorgeous gal that's sitting next to me. Her name is Stacey Beukes, and we're going to be chatting to her straight after this. There's more on Afternoon Express, so don't move. Express yourself. Express yourself. Welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for sticking around. Now, right here on Afternoon Express, we love to showcase young, artistic talent that South Africa has to offer. And today we feature a young lady from Cape Town who designs and manufactures her own hand-created silver jewellery, which not only looks good, but also tells a story. And she has a special surprise for us on the show. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Stacey Beukes, the owner of Ring to It Jewellery. My studio is in Cape Town and I design and manufacture silver jewellery. Come, let's have a look inside. I decided to make the silver smithing pendant for Bonang because it's very unique and each piece gets handmade. So with every single line hammered, it's uniquely hers. It's pretty and can be worn with any outfit. I decided to make the silver bead earrings for Bonnie because it's quite delicate and also quite unique as well because we hammer each one and each bead is semi-precious smoky quartz. So when she's wearing it, it will elongate the neck and she has such a beautiful look to her. It will actually be the focal point of her face. These Ring to It pieces are now ready to be gifted to Bonnie and Bonang in the Afternoon Express studios.
Amazing. I can't wait to see my gift. Thank you so much, Stacey.
So I actually just brought it from the Ring to It studio.
That's
it's
amazing.
All handmade.
Thank you.
That one is yours, and then I also have one for
Bonnie
as well.
I'll make sure she gets it. But Stacey, welcome. Before I open this, I want to talk to you. Congratulations on opening your very first business. Let's talk about the journey and what inspired you to say, I want to start this and this is what I want to do.
Well, I got a bursary to study at Stellenbosch University. It was a full bursary, so I could actually afford to go and study the course itself. When I came back, I realized that there was not a lot of opportunity in terms of jewellery making and what I wanted to do for my goals. So I decided, let's just start a business. I started small. I only had a little toolbox that I brought home from Stellenbosch to Grassy Park, is where I'm from originally. And that's where I started, in the little hallway in my parents' house, just sewing, drilling, doing little things, you know, to start off my business, yeah.
Now, I mean, from that to what we just saw, how did you then end up into a whole, you know, factory with all these resources and, you know, you employ other people as well.
Yeah,
so tell me about the growth of the company.
Well, the journey, it's one of those things in business, you know, you have to learn. There's so much that you kind of, you go into it thinking, oh, I'm going to make pretty things, and then like accounting happens, and you know, there's lots of things that you actually have to take into account that you didn't necessarily think you would have to. So I mean, I started small, like I said. I unfortunately didn't have the financial capacity to start with a fully kitted out studio. So as I said, I started with doing a few commissions, talking to people, they saying, oh, can you do this custom piece for me? And that's exactly what I did. And as I started building up money and putting aside, I could then take that and buy the next piece of equipment, move on to the next thing, you know, and go bigger and better for larger events.
That's incredible. And you mentioned custom made, and your pieces are hand created. But you say that each and every piece that you make tells a story. How do your designs do that?
So one of my favorite ranges is based on, it's called Sweets of the Change, and it's all based on sweets from the neighborhood that I grew up in. So you would go to the store and then buy a loaf of bread, and you would tell the guy behind the counter, I'd like Sweets of the Change. So all of that entire range is based on like little sweets or little tokens that we used to use when we were small. So like I have a bubblegum ring over there in the, on one of the tops over there, which is actually chewed bubblegum. That's then been molded and then casted straight into metal. So when you look at it, you don't actually know that that's what you're wearing, but it's a solid piece of metal. It takes the teeth mark, everything. So it has that kind of nostalgia, and it plays around with community, and that's kind of what I play around with, you know, telling stories that people aren't really used to, you know, seeing or being exposed to. So that's something from my culture that I thought would be important. So I designed like an entire range based on that. And then also for commission pieces, I do engagement rings. So say somebody's wanting to get engaged, they would come to me and I sit alongside them and say, so what is the fiancé to be like? And I actually sketch up and we come up with an actual design, and then it goes into manufacture.
So what has been your biggest achievement or success since the inception of your business?
I would say one of my biggest successes, or something that I value, is being able to take somebody on into my company. So I'm very passionate about being able to give people an opportunity. And I took somebody on that had no jewellery experience, and I trained her from scratch. And I mean, in a place where people are struggling to get work, I mean, she was struggling for like 5-6 years to get work. And I just asked, would you like to learn? And it was a 6-month traineeship with me where I taught her from scratch. And now she's employed with us. So far, she's been with us for 6 months. So, you know, like that's something that I value, because it's something in society, people are struggling. And yes, I make pretty things, but I'm also there to kind of, you know, empower other people.
That's really, really beautiful.
And then I've also done other campaigns, like larger campaigns for adverts, where they come to me and they say, we need certain pieces of jewellery manufactured. And then I design for them. And then manufacture, it's been in like large ad campaigns for perfumeries and all sorts of things.
That's amazing. From, you know, a little
toolbox exactly,
to taking over the world. So with that said, then what's your advice, I think, for, you know, somebody at home who's watching this and wants to start their own business, whether it's jewellery or not, you know, words of encouragement for them?
I think that people need to be confident, you know, like we live in a place where a lot is possible. And, you know, like it's just about kind of having an idea and following through on it. You don't have to have the biggest budget. Start small. Have little bites, take little chunks out of it, and then from there develop it to what you want it to be. I would say also there are a lot of organizations out there that assist small business, and I think that's an important step, you know, realizing that there is something you want to do. And for me, something that has carried me through is that hard work does equal success.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hallelujah. Hallelujah, girl. I agree with you 100%. But Stacey, thank you very much for coming. Thank you for my gift. Do you think I should open it?
It's up to you, completely up to you.
I know everybody at home is probably dying to see. All right.
I'll help you with it.
There, I've got it.
Okay.
Oh, this is superb. Oh, it's a neck piece.
Yeah, so that's a neck piece. So
you know
each
me very
one of
well.
those actually gets hammered hammered individually. So you'll see each hammer mark. There'll never be two that's the same. Yeah.
This is spectacular. So how do I take care of it?
So with silver, what you would normally do is try and not put it alongside other jewellery, like costume jewellery.
Okay.
And then I'd also say in a little bag on the side, or if it does get a bit tarnished, warm soapy water, soft kind of brush, and just like give it a little bit of a
well, this is so fancy. Look at me, Stacey. Thank you very, very much. This is absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure you at home want one too. Well, today we're giving away a Stacey Beukes original silver bar pendant on a silver chain. To stand a chance of winning this beautiful piece, all you need to do is SMS the keyword EXPRESS to 33650. SMSs cost R1.50. T's and C's apply and can also be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now that we've got our gorgeous accessories sorted, it's time to finish that look. And as you've seen over the past 11 weeks, the Revlon Love Squad have spilled the beans of love and enlightening you with their makeup skills in a series of love look tutorials. To wrap up this series, along with my makeup artist Clara, we show you how to create a dramatic, romantic look using Revlon Color Stay Makeup Foundation. I know Stacey's gonna love this one. Take a look. Hi Revlon beauties, I'm Bonang Matheba and this is my gorgeous go-to makeup artist Clara. And today we're going to show you how you can recreate my beautiful, simple, whimsical, romantic look.
Well, we're starting with the Revlon Color Stay Foundation. So Bonang is a caramel oily combination. What we're going to do is give her a beautiful, clean skin.
And you know what I love particularly about this new Color Stay bottle is that you pump and it gives you the exact amount of foundation that you need. So it's easy, it's perfect, really. So what's next, Clara?
Well, from here, we're going to set our foundation with our Color Stay powder. So this is meant to work together. You'll see how it forms a beautiful matte, clean skin.
Love it. All right, and after we've set the powder, foundation, powder, what's next? Eyeshadow, my favorites. You know what I love about eyeshadows? That you can play around with the colors, you can mix and match, you know, really have fun with it. But today it's a romantic look, so we're going with my classic.
Very clean, pretty face that Bonang has been mesmerizing us with lately. We're using the natural Color Stay palette from Revlon. Beautiful colors, very neutral.
Beautiful, yeah.
Very neutral. We're just going to give you a beautiful crease. With the brown.
I'm all about creases. It shapes your eyes, brings everything closer and tighter, prettier.
Blend, blend.
Blend, 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 blend. That's what it's about. So Clara, you're putting the lighter color in the inner sides and parts of my eye. Why is that?
This is just to open your eye and kind of just give it, like you said, a whimsical, very playful, pretty look, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a fun way of making your eyes just pop a little.
I love that big, beautiful, bold Revlon eyes.
Of course.
All right, now that my eyes are done, look how beautiful that is. How do we finish this look off, Clara?
We're going in with our Color Stay liquid liner.
And the lovely thing about this particular brush is that it's hard at the top here. See, it doesn't bend, so it's easier for you to control.
Definitely.
That's why I love it.
Definitely, I think.
You need to wait for your liquid liner to dry because should you blink, what's going to happen is the liquid eyeliner might land up in your eyeshadow, then you have to start all over again, and we wouldn't want that. So liquid eyeliner is all done, but how do we give my eyes that powerful effect?
We're going in with our 5-in-1 mascara. One of my favorites as well. It's got 5 awesome benefits.
And that brush is so soft and lovely.
Listen.
It feels amazing. Each and every little hair.
Yep. It's a sneaky little brush, love it.
I love it. All the tra-la-la that we need. What is next?
Well, just before we go to our lip, we're just going to finish you off with a bit of contouring. This is just to give you a beautiful, structured face.
And you can see Clara's using a darker color to, first of all, define my jawline and my cheeks and my nose, but also just to warm the face up a little bit, right? Accentuate some of my features, my nose, my to dark cheekbones, of course. And remember, this is a romantic look, so it's a bit softer, you know, a bit lighter. So you need to have a very gentle hand with this one. And of course, my favorite part, the lips. And you know at Revlon, we're all about tips and lips. This is my favorite color. It's called Temptation. You see, it inspired my nail color. There you go. It's the Ultra HD matte lipstick. I mean, to die, to die.
So this is a very nice matte color, but moisturizing, so it doesn't give you that dry, icky finish.
These Ultra HD matte lip colors smell delicious. You're literally gonna wanna eat them up. And once you buy one color, you're gonna want all the colors because it just feels so good. It's moisturizing. It lasts for a very, very long time. And I love a matte finish. It is so chic, so trendy, so cool. Perfect for winter. So there you go. I look and feel incredible. So thank you very much to my gorgeous makeup artist, Clara. Hopefully we tempted you to try this beautiful Revlon romantic look. So ladies, go out there, be fabulous, and remember to choose love.
Always.
You gotta choose love, ladies. But Stacey, looking at you right now and then seeing the insert that we watched of you earlier, you're a red lip girl, right?
Definitely.
You die for a red lip every day?
Yeah. It's just easier to just throw on.
Yeah.
So like from studio to a client meeting to anything, it's just easy to throw on and kind of brighten up my look.
Absolutely. And you always look dressed up in a red lip, I think. I love red lips.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. Well, that's all from the Revlon Colour Stay campaign here in the Loft. But you can continue to follow the Love Squad antics online using the hashtag LoveSquadSA, or catch up on all the makeup tutorials you missed on Revlon's SA's YouTube channel. Love is definitely on. But after the break, we've got more giveaways on Afternoon Express, so stay right where you are to find out more. See you now.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to the show. Now, yesterday, the 2016 Paralympics kicked off in Rio, and one of South Africa's most exciting athletes, Ilse Hayes, is a firm favourite for the gold in the 100-metre T13 category, which means visually impaired but not enough to need a guide runner. Ilse already has 2 Paralympic golds under her belt, but for the long jump category. The last 2 Olympics she competed in, she won silver for the 100-metre, so this year is her chance to finally bring home the gold for sprinting. If you want to get to know her a little bit better, make sure you catch Top Billing this evening at 8 p.m. on SABC3 as we caught up with her before she left for Rio. And do not forget to support her along with all our athletes as they journey through the 2016 Paralympics. Now, as we promised today, we have a very special competition running right here on the show. We're giving away a one-of-a-kind African-inspired tea set, all right, created by Imiso Ceramics in Cape Town. Bonnie went to visit them to see how it was all put together. Take a look.
Over the past 10 years, Imiso Ceramics has not only grown in numbers, but also in the hearts of many. They're a design-oriented manufacturing company that specializes in high-end ceramics. Let's go inside and meet Zizipho Poswa, the co-owner. Well, first off, we'd just like to congratulate you on your beautiful work.
Thank you so much, Bonnie.
What does Imiso stand for? What inspired that name?
Imiso is derived from a Xhosa word called ungomso, meaning tomorrow. We were inspired to work for today, for a better tomorrow, to leave a legacy for our children.
How did you come to find yourself in this colorful world of ceramics?
I come from Umtata. I grew up there, and after matric, I went to study at Port Elizabeth Technikon, where I was introduced to different mediums of art and design, and I learned ceramics, and I majored in textile design. So I later moved on to Cape Town, where I met Andile and 3 of my other friends, and we decided to start the brand Imiso.
How do you find the balance between decorative pieces and functional pieces?
I can say that the pieces that I make are actually influenced by both decorative and functional wear. I think it happens naturally that I get to make pieces that cater for both. I don't really draw, so I imagine it in my head.
Wow.
and it will depend what sort of technique that I want to use, from whether it's hand pinching or it is coiling or it's going to be press molding. So it will go through to one of those processes, and the next step would be to let it dry for a day or two. And the following step would be to clean it up and sponge it and let it go through the first firing, which is called the biscuit stage. And after that, it will come out and we'll paint it and we'll do the glazing part of it. Quite a long process that can happen over 2 weeks.
What does the future hold for Imiso? Where do you see yourselves extending to?
We would like to see ourselves in New York in the next 5 to 10 years. And we also want to do more collaborations with local artists and international artists as well. And we'd like to broaden ourselves also in Africa as a whole.
From the streets of Umtata to the big city of Cape Town, Imiso Ceramics is telling their story through their work, not only to South Africans, but to the rest of the world.
I so wish I could have that tea set to myself, but we're giving it away to one lucky viewer, along with a fresh pack hamper containing an assortment of their teas. To enter, all you need to do is SMS the keyword WIN to 33650, and remember, SMSs cost R1.50 each. T's and C's apply. And also be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
After the break, it's time to share another moment with Five Roses. South Africa's favourite tea is expertly blended to ensure that it remains of the highest quality consistently. It's this commitment to excellence when making the perfect cup of tea that delivers its uniquely superior taste. Five Roses salutes South African women who too are committed to excellence. So today we'll be chatting to Ashley McLean, curator of the What If the World Gallery and art connoisseur. She's joining us for a deliciously refreshing cup of Five Roses green tea with mint, made using a blend of traditional Chinese green tea and fresh mint flavour to bring you an aromatic and refreshing taste experience. And with a whole range of delicious green tea flavours to choose from, who said healthy can't be tasty too? So don't go away, we'll be right back after the break with Ashley McLean and Five Roses, right here in the loft.
Express yourself. Express yourself.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. With a degree in fine art from UCT, it was while visiting London that Ashley McLean was shown how to cut a stencil by now famous graffiti artist Banksy. Since then, she evolved from artist to curator of What If the World Gallery, becoming one of South Africa's most respected curators, representing local artists at art fairs around the globe. Welcome to the loft.
Thank you.
I love your job, and I want to get into that in a little bit, but first I want to know, I mean, how did you get to meet Banksy? Nobody in the world even, well, I suppose only a few select people know who he is and what he looks like.
I was actually, I started doing a little bit of graffiti here in Cape Town, and I met up with some British writers while they were here who I was visiting, and I was just lucky enough to visit him at his studio in Notting Hill it was at the time. And, just off Portobello Road, actually. Yeah. And he showed me what I'd been doing wrong up until that point. So, yeah, it was good to have a little bit of a lesson from him.
Okay. So how did you get into the art world?
So following my kind of foray into quite sort of delinquent, well, not delinquent, but street art, I wanted to learn a little bit more about other forms of art making, and I became quite interested in film. I made a number of independent films, set up a couple of collectives with friends of mine, and then I went into formal tertiary education at Michaelis at UCT. Following that, I realised with a number of my graduate friends that there wasn't actually an infrastructure for artists just coming out of the academy in which to show. It was sort of this net that a lot of people were dropping through, and at the time I had two friends who started a very small gallery, almost a broom cupboard, and they were doing performance, and they needed somebody to come in and put on an exhibition. So I just started like that, inviting people I'd graduated with to create my first show, and we just took it from there.
How does one become a curator? And I think for our audience, if you can just explain, what exactly does a curator do?
So a curator traditionally, I mean, they've been curators for hundreds of years, would have been a carer of a collection, not necessarily an art collection, it could have been any form of collection. In a more contemporary sense, a curator is someone who organises exhibitions of either film, performance, installation, painting, sculpture, normally with a specific theme in mind, and uses that theme to create a dialogue between the works and objects that are on display and the viewer that comes to see them. So it's about sort of using objects in display to raise questions and to create conversations.
I'm a really huge fan of art and all forms of art. But as a curator, how do you remain quite impartial? Because I think it's quite a personal thing to be able to select pieces.
It is, at times, I actually think you can't remain impartial. You can't.
I don't think so.
It's got to be a personal decision because it's not to sound overly controlling, but as a curator, you also bring to the table your own set of aesthetic concerns or conceptual concerns. So it has to be a personal decision. That's where the curatorship in, for example, museums and commercial galleries, or someone who's potentially working as an art consultant would differ, because it is very much, you have to be passionate about the work that you show. Otherwise, there's no integrity in what you're doing.
There's always been amazing artists to come out of South Africa, if you look at the likes of William Kentridge and that kind of thing. But how does a young emerging artist break it into the scene?
Well, I think the first thing to do is to make yourself visible.
Yeah.
And I've always advocated for a DIY approach. So don't wait for somebody to come and say, I would love to invite you to an exhibition at my gallery. You have to start by doing independent projects. I think a lot of younger artists are forming collectives. A lot of people are using, obviously, social media to... I mean, I think one of the artists I think is doing that really well at the moment is an artist called Lady Scorley.
Oh, we've had her on the show. How amazing is Lady Scorley?
Yeah, she's doing a fantastic job of... because then as a younger artist, when you come to the gallery, you already have a number of achievements behind you. You have a body of work. You've worked through some of your issues. You don't necessarily need a name, but you need to show that you have the drive to be self-motivated and to pursue this career, because it's a very, very hard road.
I think now for a lot of students, when they're studying art at university level, they've changed the name of the degree from fine arts to audio-visual, I think, so that there's so many other things, because you can't just be a standard artist anymore. You've got to understand the business.
You've got to be multidisciplinary, yeah. I think a lot of artists are becoming very savvy to the fact that, you know, there needs to be, and I always really advocate this for the artists that we work with, there needs to be a symbiotic relationship between the gallery and the artist, and that we're both working towards the same goal, which is to create the best work possible and get it to as many people as we can.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
So I'm of the opinion, and I think maybe you can clear this for me, that gone are the days of people saying, oh, are you going to become an artist, but there's no money in it, there's no future in it. Like, what advice would you have for aspiring young artists?
I definitely wouldn't advocate anybody going into the arts with the goal of making money. Yeah. It's not the career you choose if you want to, because it's a very complex...
But that should never lead anybody's career choice in any case.
Well, I mean, I think there, and there are obviously different tiers of artists. I mean, you get very commercial artists that make a huge amount of money, but are not necessarily artists that will be remembered for breaking ground or raising issues or contributing to the kind of historical archive of humanity. But I would suggest for younger artists, if you are entering the art market, the first thing is to, as I said, make yourself visible, be professional, start a website, create a presence, take on your own projects, approach people, look at grants and funding opportunities so that you can realize these projects, engage with the arts community around you, go to openings, read about contemporary art, go to the museums, like really engage and immerse yourself in it, because it is a participatory space. So I don't think, I think people need to get out there. Exactly. And then once you have that and you can, and hopefully you can secure representation from a gallery, then it's a long building process. I would say probably about maybe 5 to 6 years before you achieve
Is it rewarding, do you think? Would you recommend it?
Yes, definitely. I mean, I think art is not something that you can turn on or off.
Yeah.
It's something that you are driven to do through curiosity or through a desire to challenge yourself or through a desire to challenge those around you. So it's something that you can only do if you have a deep and lasting love
Passion,
and commitment.
I'm really such a huge appreciator and fan of art that I can watch the old documentaries of old pre-Raphaelite and all those artists from, you know, from when art began, essentially. But I think I'm finding a lot less people are. Do you think the world is still going to appreciate art as technology arises and as people just get so busy with stuff? Do you think there will still be that same appreciation
And are binge
for
watching
art?
series
Exactly.
every weekend.
Yeah, on their phones the whole time. I mean,
no, I do.
I actually
I think that technology will feed a desire for. I mean, yes, sometimes there is just a deluge of stuff, and you have to sort the wheat from the chaff. But I think that as the world becomes more visual and more connected, there's an entire group of people that haven't actually been able to access that information up until this point. And I think that that will only lead to greater knowledge, greater inquisitiveness, greater curiosity and engagement. I hope so.
Yeah, well, I absolutely love chatting to you, and I cannot wait to come and see your gallery. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks very much.
Now, it was Pablo Picasso that said, "Art washes away from the soul the dust of everyday life." It's thanks to the dedication of Ashley and all those who support the arts in our country that encourage us to appreciate the wealth of talent on African soil. Five Roses salutes all the artists of South Africa who inspire us through their creativity. We're giving away a fabulous Five Roses gift pack containing an assortment of all of their delicious teas, and to stand a chance to win, simply SMS the keyword 5 Roses, your name and city to 33728. SMSs are charged at R1.50 each, and T's and C's do apply. So visit our website, afternoonexpress.co.za, for details. Join us again this time next week when we will be chatting to yet another exceptional South African woman. And until then, remember that nobody makes better tea than you and 5 Roses.
Express yourself.
Welcome back to the show. Back in the kitchen with Claire, about to get ready for our second delicious recipe today. And what are we making?
We're making soya glazed hake, and we're going to be doing a cold noodle salad.
Yum.
So I've got my frozen hake fillets, and I'm going to put that in a pan with some oil.
Okay. You leave them to thaw, right? For a couple of...
You can, but the nice thing about Seahorse is you can cook it from frozen. It'll take a little bit longer. And you don't have to worry about buying frozen hake from Sea Harvest. You basically, they take their fish from the boats right onto their factory. It's a couple of meters away. So it's flash frozen. They're locking in all the goodness. It's absolutely brilliant. A little bit of oil here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it skin side down.
Skin side down. And why is that?
What we're going to do is we're going to get that nice crispy crust over it. It looks beautiful for presentation. Get rid of that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my noodles. I've got egg noodles that I've already cooked. You don't want to overcook them. You don't want mush. You want it to be a little bit al dente.
Fantastic.
And then we're going to make a nice little glaze.
All right.
And I've got some...
I'm going to keep an eye on this.
There we go. You do that. My sous chef. Got some tahini paste. And I've got some sesame oil. There we go. Some soya sauce. A little bit of ginger.
Yum.
Nice Asian
Pure
flavors.
Asian flavors. I was about to say the exact same thing.
And then a little bit of vinegar. We're even going to put a little bit of Tabasco for heat, but you don't have to put that in. It's just up to you.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a nice mix.
It already smells so good.
Perfect. And then what you're going to do now, it's quite thick, so we're going to add a little bit of water just so that it can thin it out so we can actually coat our noodles.
Okay.
And then you're going to, here we go, so just coat it down, and then you can add a little bit of salt and pepper. There we go. So you see, getting a nice little crust over it. And it'll take a couple of minutes. That was thawed. Obviously, if it's frozen, it'll take a little bit longer. Add a little bit of seasoning.
That's all still for the noodles?
All for the noodles.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now is, in our noodles, just before you serve it, you'll add some vegetables. I've got some red pepper. I've got some yellow pepper, some cabbage. And then I've also got some cucumber. You can put in spring onions. You can put snow peas in.
Amazing.
Whatever you want.
Colours.
I'm going to mix that up. How's it going with the fish?
So far, so good. It's supposed to look like that, so...
Yes. Okay, so 1 more minute. And then what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to teach you how to make the soya glaze.
Okay.
Mix that over. I'm not going to dress it until just before we serve it. So So in our glaze, you need some honey,
Yum.
some soy sauce, and some Dijon mustard. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take that fish out there. So once your fish is cooked through, just take that out the pan. You put that on your serving plate. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your soy sauce. You're going to add your honey.
You need to be quick with this.
Absolutely. Now this is going to do a nice, really like sticky, sweet and salty. You don't have to add any extra flavors. A little bit of Dijon mustard. Again, you can add a little bit of water. You don't have to put any salt or pepper because the soy sauce is going to be nice and salty already.
All right.
Do that. I'm going to give it a nice whisk.
That smells incredible.
And you're going to give it a couple of minutes just so the honey and the soy just melt together and it gets nice and thick and delicious and it's now bubbling away.
Yeah, but while we wait for that, do remember that Sea Harvest is giving away some mystery prizes. If you want to know all about it, find the link on our Facebook page. And the best of luck.
Take a couple of minutes, just like reduce and start becoming a nice, thick, beautiful glaze.
Okay.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my dressing.
Oh, into
your noodles.
Amazing. All right. Let me help you out with
Keep
this.
stirring. Brilliant.
And how long does this glaze
It's going
take?
to take about 2 minutes. Just want it to be nice and sticky, so you'll know when it's ready.
Okay.
And you're going to mix through your vegetables, mix through your sauce. It's not a very thin sauce. You want it to be quite thick, but you want it to mix through and coat.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and serve it on our plate. Move my fish over.
Oh, smells amazing. I can't wait to tuck into it.
This is great for lunch.
Yeah,
you can do
it's very light.
Something you can do over for dinner, and you can have leftovers the next morning. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to do a little bit more of my extra sauce. Very quick, yeah.
Literally didn't even take us like 15 minutes.
And you can also put this in those big nice mason jars and then serve and glaze when you get to the office.
Okay.
So it doesn't get soggy. Nothing worse than soggy noodles.
No,
fish.
yeah.
So get that nice and thick, and then we're going to pour it over.
You make it look so simple. Absolutely.
We'll use this one over here.
Okay.
We'll do that.
All right. Do remember you can find the recipe on our website on afternoonexpress.co.za. It's light, it's fresh, it is everything you need this spring and summer. It's perfect for the season, don't you think?
Absolutely.
As well, the colours are delicious.
Absolutely.
And there it is, soya glazed hake with a cold noodle salad.
Absolutely. Thank you for helping.
All right, Claire, we're going to plonk this up and take it to all our guests. If you can just follow me and Clem, of course, and Stacey are here. That is for you, Claire. How does that look? How does that look?
It looks and smells amazing.
It
Well
really,
done.
really does.
Inspired menu today.
Stacey, do you feel inspired if you were to create a jewellery piece for, let's say, these burgers? Where would you even begin?
It's clearly the inspiration is a little bit Asian.
Yeah.
I'm feeling that. So, I mean, I'd probably start with that, looking at the colours and that's where I'd start.
Fantastic. Very smart. So, Stacey, what's next for you? Where can we find you? What exciting projects are you up to right now?
So, at the moment, we're looking into expanding our studio space, and we also sell online. So, at our website, online, social media, all those platforms, you can come and have a look. Just Google us, into it.
Fantastic. A big thank you to our food gurus, Clem and Claire. And don't forget that you must not miss the show tomorrow. We're very excited to feature the queen of traditional music, Mam Madosini, to learn the importance of preserving traditional instruments, and we'll be enjoying the rhythms of the legendary Zizipho at the UCT Ibuyambo Orchestra. That's it for today. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 5 p.m. on SABC3. From all of us here at Afternoon Express, it's good evening and happy eating. Cheers. Tuck, 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 tuck.
Coming up tomorrow on Afternoon Express, we catch up with iconic isiXhosa musician Madosini, and the UCT Ibuyambo Orchestra treat us to an exclusive performance using traditional instruments.
Another feel-good production.